Hello there.
Hello.
Hello, you good people. Happy Sunday, and thank you for joining us. This is 5 Minutes with Robert and Amy Nacer on October 16th, 2022. October 16th, for some reason that date rings a bell, at least for me. Now, a random show, an Ask Me Anything show. What is this? Well, I'll tell you what. Today it's a birthday.
Yay.
Of the late Oscar Wilde. Born in 1854, passed away in 1900 at the age of 46, too young. Oh, wait, no. It's also the birthday of Noah Webster. No. Wait, what? It's the birthday of, sadly, Angela Lansbury, who we lost this last Tuesday.
Oh, my gosh, that's right.
Yes, she would have been 97 years old today. Missed it by 5 days. What a life, what a life.
I would have given her a big birthday bag just like this one.
Oh, we have a birthday bag sitting here, huh? There must be another birthday, too. Not a lot of topic today. We're going to go real quick, but we want you to join us in the chat. Stop by, say hello. We are on the YouTubes. We are on the Facebooks. And let me just make sure I've got it. Both of those up and running.
Yes, we do.
Yes, and I see unsigned 32-bit individualist. We know who you are is in the chat, and it is always good to see Bonnie in the chat as well. Thank you for that. And Emily Talks. Search Emily Talks on YouTube. Emily is starting her own show as well, and we had the honor of being interviewed recently.
Yes.
That's coming out pretty quick, too. Thank you for joining us. Happy birthday to me. Today is Sunday, October 16, 2022. Yay. The 289th day. 289th day of this, your best year yet. You have 76 days left, 2.5 months to make that so, if it's not already. I'm going to guess by now you're already having a great... Amy, are you having a great year?
I'm having a very good year. It's been a lot of challenges, but a lot of accomplishments as well.
You have done so much, except you're on this amazing program.
Fitness kind of thing.
6 weeks
I'm working with a trainer who is... telling me incorrect information, but then I kind of reinterpret it, and then I'm losing weight. So,
well, what do you think? Tell us in the chat. If you were on a weight loss program, do you think 180 grams of protein a day is a reasonable benchmark, a reasonable expectation?
Yeah, 182 grams of protein a day. Is that too much? You can tell us in the chat. But that is what my trainer is recommending for me.
Now, she knows your calorie goal, and she's given you a number that would mean 60% of everything you eat has to be protein.
No, thank you.
that could be a chance. It sounds like keto, but you don't do keto. I
need complex carbohydrates and phytonutrients as well. Thank you very much.
So you have had a good year, but you are making it even better. Now, me, I'm the opposite. I'm in lazy mode today. I have already had birthday cake.
Yes.
I had a big breakfast.
Yes.
We're going out to a Japanese steakhouse for dinner. So I will pick back up tomorrow. Tomorrow I will get back to my usual outstanding discipline. We'll talk a bit more about birthday things. But yes, on this date, the Walt Disney Company was founded October 16th, 1963, 99 years ago.
Wow.
So much good stuff. It reminds me, I've got to go back on the Disney Channel and watch some of those great old movies. I just forget that I've got access to all that stuff now. So good. It really is Noah Webster's birthday. Of course, famously, the American lexicographer who wrote Webster's dictionary. Born in West Hartford, Connecticut, but his house. Where is Noah Webster's house now in 2022?
As a matter of fact, the last home that Noah Webster lived in is located in Greenfield Village in Dearborn, Michigan, part of the Henry Ford Museum Complex.
Outstanding.
Yes, and it's a beautiful building. So
yes.
Come visit us and get you in for free.
You know, when you come see us in Southeast Michigan, we will take you to Greenfield Village. It will be the number one thing we do, and you will get to see Noah Webster's house, among other things. Yes, Noah Webster passed away in 1843, born in 1750, so he lived to be 84 years old. Born in 1750, born before the American Revolution, 1758. Imagine that. I did mention it was the birthday of Oscar Wilde, born in 1854, passed away in 1900, only lived to be 46, and yet an outstanding writer, and so quote-worthy. You know, Oscar Wilde is the one who said, be yourself. Everybody else is taken. And to live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. He could be a bit dark, but he led a challenging life. You know, in Lady Windermere's Fan, he wrote, "We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars." Well, I hope some of us are living amongst the stars. We are not all in the gutter. And yet, you know, I appreciate the aspirational aspect of that quote.
I see there he has, you've got a quote by Oscar Wilde. "I don't want to go to heaven. None of my friends are there."
Yes. And especially given that he was born in the 1800s and he was a gay man at a time when many people said that meant you weren't going to heaven, above and beyond his clever wit. So yes, I don't want to go to heaven. None of my friends are there. I love that. I also like this quote, "If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again, there is no use in reading it at all." We've talked about that before. There are some people who read a book and can't read it a second time. My own stepfather was one of those people who can't watch a movie twice. He can't actually enjoy seeing a film because he'd already seen it. And I'm like, no, sometimes the second time is the best time. So I feel that way about books as well. You know I'm an Ayn Rand fan. Her books hold up to I don't know how many readings because I haven't gotten tired of them yet. So I absolutely agree with Oscar Wilde, who said, "If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again, well, there is no use in reading it at all." So let me take a quick look at the chat here. I see that Apollo Zeus says 118 grams is slightly high, depending on how much of that comes from animal protein, more bioavailable. Well, 118 wouldn't be that outrageous, but your trainer is calling for 180.
82.
182. I just can't imagine.
I think that's wrong.
No,
but anyway, I mean, I'm sure she means well, and I'm sure she's just pushing me to have more protein. And
yeah,
you know what has a lot of protein that's vegetarian or that's a vegetable are peas, are green peas.
Yes.
Lots of protein in green peas.
Yes. There are certain nutrients that are very difficult to get without meat, but protein is not one of them. Not at all.
Broccoli actually has quite a bit of protein, as a matter of fact.
Yes. Yes. So yes, happy birthday, Oscar Wilde. And again, yes, it is the birthday of Angela Lansbury, famously of the films Gaslight and The Manchurian Candidate. But of course, we always go back to Murder, She Wrote. And she was unquestionably adorable, this being the founding of the Walt Disney Company, adorable in the animated version of Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. Angela is the best.
She really is.
I'm just going to ignore her death. You know, she's still alive, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's true. A lot of people who have passed away are still alive for me.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me just double check here. Now, it is Happy Bosses Day. I remember when I used to have a boss who was not me, of course. I don't know. Bosses Day, if it's on my birthday, and I'm already celebrating my bad self anyway, I guess that's perfect, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Except to the extent that you're my boss.
Am I?
In certain ways. I'm surprised that you're surprised at that proposition.
I don't think of it that way.
No.
No, I think of us as equal partners.
We're not good at bossing each other around. Mm-hmm. We talked about that recently.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because there are relationships where partners coach each other, and that will never happen here. That's just not going to happen.
No, we're already kind of coaches to our own selves.
Yeah. So I'm my own boss, but if you have a boss, you know, I hope you took advantage of Boss's Day, or do it tomorrow, because a lot of jobs are, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, so you wouldn't do much on it. Well, you got email. You can always text, send an email. Do something about boss. And if you are a boss, and if your subordinates don't do anything for you, your downlines, I don't know, what's the right word for the people that work for you nowadays? Somebody will tell us. But yeah, do something for yourself if you have to. It's interesting. It's a National Department Store Day. And I thought that would be a fun one to talk about. But then I looked on the internet, and there's all these sad pictures of department stores we used to have that aren't out there anymore. Sears and Roebuck and Kmart and Montgomery Ward. And it's kind of, but I love department stores. I love Target.
Yeah.
Even Walmart, it's not my favorite place. But, I bought a computer from Walmart this week. If you're in the market, by the way, for an inexpensive computer, $199 gets you a laptop. An i3 with 8 gig of RAM, 256 gigabyte solid state drive, and a full HD resolution, 1920 by 1080 screen. Amazing that Walmart's got those this week or this month or whatever it is. Cool stuff. Look on my Facebook wall if you need that information, but it is National Department Store Day. I guess I like I just think of the department stores of my youth, but they're still out there.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I went to one department store, actually. It's called Von Maur.
Von Maur.
Or Von Muir, or Von...
Well, it's M-A-U-R. I assume it's Maur.
M-A-U-R. Okay.
Yeah, when Hudson's closed down and some of those that were
Macy's,
as much clothing stores as department stores.
And,
Von Maur came. Somebody will tell us how to pronounce Von Maur. And Jennifer, we still have a J.C. Penney in Southeast Michigan. Because I like J.C. Penney. Except the last time I bought a suit there, they tried to get me to sign up for a credit card. And my mistake was I said yes. I never, ever say yes to department store credit. Oh, we'll get you 40% off of your purchase today. You'll save like $10,000, and always a mistake. Always a mistake. But I like J.C. Penney. Mm-hmm. I do like that. So happy National Department Store. And finally, it is Global Cat Day.
Meow. Or what do cats always say meow in all languages? That's the question. If you know, please go ahead and put that in the chat.
That's a good question. Yeah, like in France, is there a French word for meow, and do cats say that?
They say le meow, le meow.
I'll bet. I don't know, because I've never been to cat school in the United States, so I don't know what the differences would be in cat school in Paris. So somebody will know the answer to that. Yes. Yeah, Jim Ashley points out that Angela Lansbury was also in an adaptation of The Picture of Dorian Gray,
yes, which we need to see.
Is an Oscar Wilde story.
Mm-hmm. We need to see that.
We need to see that. We haven't seen it yet. So that would be good to see. Thank you for the recommendation. Jim Ashley, if you're not already friends with him on Facebook, can always be counted on both for interesting insights and great movie recommendations.
It's true. Yes.
So thank you for that. And that's it. That's it for the National This, National That, other than it being National Happy Birthday to Robert Nacer Day.
Yes, it is International Robert Nacer Appreciation Day.
Yes, and feel free to throw money.
Yes.
It's funny, I don't usually do the shameless self-promotion because during the week, I've got shows that I do with the Ayn Rand Center UK, and we do super chats, and people put in a question that stands out by putting $1, a couple dollars or $10, $20 on it. I don't know if we've gotten anything bigger than that. But anyway, money comes in, and the money all goes to support me? No, the Ayn Rand Center UK, of course. And that's as it should be. But unfortunately, and this is where you come in, YouTube doesn't let me do super chats. It doesn't let us do super chats because we don't have enough subscribers yet.
Yeah.
They base it on subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that would matter to the folks at YouTube.
Well, it does.
I mean, because they're going to take a little cut either way.
Well, here's what we do.
What do we do?
What we're going to do is we're going to have everyone who's listening right now, basically, because, the holidays are coming up. So what you do is you contact all of your friends and family.
All of your friends and family.
And send out our channel. Ask them to please subscribe and like every show and watch as well.
Like every show.
But definitely to subscribe.
Okay.
And you can say, I would like for you to do this as a way to give as giving me a Christmas present. So it's just a I would like to have a Christmas present from you, and this is what I would like to have for Christmas. I would like you to go to this channel on YouTube and subscribe. Right?
So you're saying all of those good people out there aren't going to receive anything for Christmas but likes and subscribes for us.
It's on top of what
on
they
top
usually
of the usual
get
stuff.
For Christmas.
Good.
I know everyone who's listening is really a great person and gets a lot of presents from Santa, and their friends and family.
And you have lots of friends.
Yes, you do.
And probably lots of family.
Yes. So, go at it, people.
Hook us up. That's
Hook us
right.
up. And it's going to make you happier in your life and us happy in our lives. And it's a win-win.
Good. It's Shameless Self-Promotion Sunday. I usually do Shameless Self-Promotion Tuesday. But Sunday, shameless, yeah, that's good. That is alliterative. And the authors out there, like Lee, will know what I'm talking about. But yes, so I did actually do a show, Happy Birthday to Me, celebrations, anniversaries, and more, on Life on Earth. Link to that is in the show notes, already posted in the description on Facebook. And that was fun because I did a little bit of what we talked about right here on 5 Minutes with Robert and Amy Nacer when we did the episode Weekends and Holidays. Now, you know, I'm a big fan of holidays. I love holidays. I love capitalizing on these occasions that are predefined, already out there for you to enjoy. And I know holidays can also be a burden on some folks. A need to scramble to get ready for occasions or to decorate or to buy gifts. Oh my gosh, you've got to buy gifts for people. And so, naturally, we had advice on how to handle that, how to remove the stress, remove the sense of duty and obligation, and just make it all good again. So I talked about that on Thursday. You might give that a listen. Link is in the show notes. I also linked to our original Weekends and Holidays episode. And kind of related to that, on Wednesday I did an episode with James Valiant of Keeping It Real, the Leonard Peikoff series. So that was fun.
Yep.
Ambition and leisure. But can I play video games? Are video games a moral pastime?
Sure, just like movies are, or just like board games are,
Yes.
perhaps.
Darn right.
Yeah. Playing
Yes.
cards.
That's right. So
Playing-
what have we got going on in the
Yeah.
chat here?
Yeah.
You know, I've got on YouTube, it says, this message is held for review. And anytime that happens, I know who wrote it. So let's see, what does that say?
Was that my?
I said show, but I don't see anything that might even slightly be offensive.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, was it your, what do you want for Christmas? Answer, for you to subscribe to this. Oh, because it's subscribe.
Oh, I see.
Since it's on my channel but your name, they thought, maybe this Amy Nacer person is trying to use this guy's cachet to...
Trying to spam you for my personal subscription gain.
Yes. And you know, that's just not right. So what all of you should do in response to this outrage from the folks at, and I was going to say YouTube, but we all know that it's really alphabet.com running Google and YouTube and all of these other powers that be who are censoring us.
Who's alphabet.com?
Oh, Alphabet is actually the name of the company that owns Google and YouTube.
Oh, I didn't know this, actually.
Yes. Yeah,
Huh.
Google has a parent company,
Wow.
which I guess means they're a child company, which explains why they act childish sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. I love Google. I love YouTube. But, you know, sometimes they are bad actors. And Kate, now they're about to cut off my YouTube feed, I'm sure. Because you know they all listen to this show just like you do, and we appreciate that. Apollo Zoo says a menagerie. Oh, describing all of the animals that Jennifer has at her home. Yeah, she has a menagerie, which is not a meringue and not a menage a trois. For some reason, my mind goes to
Other M words?
other and what quirky things connect with any given thing. Yeah. Oh, and Jennifer Lionberger says sign up on Patreon too.
Thank you.
Jennifer, thank you for mentioning that. Since Jennifer, I wouldn't have said anything, but since Jennifer brought it up,
Yes.
if you go to robertnacer.com, you'll find a link to our Patreon, and you could sign up to be a patron of this show.
Yes.
And I've got to tell you, a little inside baseball, even though you never should share the inside information. The Patreon for this show has been running since the show was announced, even before it started. And we've had some generous patrons over the course of the 2 years and a half, almost. 2.5 years, yeah. And I've never actually taken any money out of that account. It's just sat there. because it's very heartening to see that there is an account of contributions for people who said, I like this show so much, I want to put a couple dollars a month on it.
Yeah, that is really nice.
Yes.
It's amazing.
But I can tell you that given circumstances, and for very compelling reasons, I did finally make a withdrawal against the account.
Mm-hmm.
And that is making it possible to do some important things, both related to the show and our personal lives, that make me appreciate my patrons even more. So a big shout out to those of you who are supporting the show. We do deeply appreciate it. And future thanks to anybody who's considering, oh, yeah, I could sign up for that too. I want to be a little part of that thing that those guys do. So thank you, Jennifer, for mentioning that.
Yes,
It
thank
is
you,
very,
guys.
very kind of you to bring it up. And I don't want anybody to feel guilty if they can't afford to support the show. No, seriously, some people who are, really love have been supporters of this show, and then when their lives got complicated, they had to pull away. And they've been good enough to send me a note and say, Robert, I can't be on Patreon right now. I hope you understand. Totally cool. I don't want anybody to give us money if it is a sacrifice on your part. Yara and Brooke would say value for value, but if you're getting value from this show and you don't have any spare change, it's all good. It's all good. But thank you to those of you who support the show. And hey, if you got the money, bring it on. Mm-hmm. Love, love, love that. What else did I miss in the chat? Let's take a look here.
Yeah, and remember, everybody, if you have a question for us about any kind of topic whatsoever, just go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll answer it.
It's funny, Jennifer has several cats, and Apollo Zeus is giving her a hard time now, saying she doesn't like cats. How do you have several cats if you don't like cats? No, the people who don't like cats, that would be Amy and I. No, I'm only kidding. We love cats. Cats are beautiful. Cats. And it's sad because it's National Feral Cat Day. I mentioned that, although I didn't really get into it. And Amy and I had some feral cats, or rather, there were some cats out in the woods near our workplaces.
Right.
Where the two of us would get together for lunch when we'd take a break from work, and we'd get something to eat, and then we would go to this little edge of a woods where there were these little kittens, and they're so cute.
There were 3 little kittens. One was black and white, one was a tabby, and the other one was, gray or something like that.
And they were
adorable.
And they were feral. Nobody owned them, so we felt like they were our cats because we would visit them at lunchtime.
So I went ahead and I promoted these cats to try to get homes for them. And before I could find homes for them, some good Samaritan brought them to a shelter. And I just want to let you know, this is a learning moment here.
Teachable moment for you all.
It's not a happy ending. If you bring in just a cat off the street into a shelter, and if they have feline leukemia, which they will immediately be tested for and quarantined for, if they have it, then they have very short lives.
And the only saving grace was that, given that it did turn out these cats all had this, having them euthanized was more humane than what would have happened to them in the wild.
Right, that's true.
But it was still damn sad.
It was awfully sad.
So the point is, we love cats. The only reason we pick on cats, the only reason we say we hate cats is because we're both allergic. Me, even more than Amy.
Right. I grew up with cats. I love cats, but I'm allergic to them, and it's bad.
Some of my favorite people, including my own daughter, are cat owners. Mm-hmm. And Jennifer. So stop picking on her. Give her a hard time about that.
Yeah, there was actually one cat that Jennifer has who always communicates with me via Zoom when we're on Zoom, and she'll come up to Jennifer and go, "Meow."
Yes.
And I'll answer her back, and we'll have a conversation.
In English or in French?
In English in this case.
Okay.
It's not a French cat. Otherwise, I would say in French.
Yes. Did they have mittens? Oh.
Yeah, they did. They had everything that was adorable about a cat.
Yes.
They
really were just super sweet.
Yeah, but it was approaching winter time. I'll just say that, and nobody wanted to see them out in the cold.
Yes. Oh yeah, I guess it was a miscommunication between Jennifer and Apollo, because she says, "Sorry, Apollo, I was being obtuse." You're not obtuse. You're rather slender. Oh, wait, wrong word. Sorry, read that wrong. God, I shouldn't be talking about people like that. That is so rude. Jim asks, is there some really effective way to diminish the allergic response? And the answer to that is, there is a way to reduce the response, but not a really effective way.
There's hazmat suits.
Well, there's you can do Claritin, which is it helps some. But, it's non-drowsy. If you take enough of it to really knock out the allergies, it also really knocks you out. Like, I'll take a double dose of Claritin during allergy season. And then there's things like Zyrtec and Benadryl and the things that'll knock you out no matter how much you take. And I tend to be a little sensitive to that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I always say I'm not that bright anyway, so I really can't afford to knock a digit off of my IQ by taking a pill. So yes, there are ways to deal with that, but none that really work out for me.
Yeah.
Let me just take another look at the chat here. Oh, I'm getting more birthday wishes. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. And I have to say, I was responding to all of the birthday wishes online on Twitter and Facebook, and there were many. I think there were 30 posts right to my wall that I responded to. I know some of you, think 30 is low. I would have gotten 100, but it turned out a lot of the birthday wishes I got were in a thread that I couldn't even see.
Yeah, because it was a little surprise for Robert.
Amy posted a birthday thread first thing in the morning and locked me out of it.
Yeah, I decided to do a birthday experiment. So I basically said to make Robert's day extra special, message him with a voice message, an audio message singing happy birthday to him. And so you got some of those, and that was wonderful. And and thank you. I think you got a birthday message from Jason Adams, who's also in the YouTube chat. Thank you. And so I thought it'd be kind of a fun thing.
Oh, that's hilarious. Did you read David Midveld's? He's got a limerick here. There once was a girl from Purdue who kept a young cat in a pew. She taught it to speak alphabetical Greek, but it never got farther than mew. That's just hilarious.
It's very good.
Mew, of course, M-U, like
yes.
the micro symbol. That's great.
Very good. Yep. Oh, and Jim says, yes, any question at all. Yes, we can answer any question, which is,
yes.
His question is, if I travel to Italy again, are there any pigeon-free zones in Venice? I got crapped on by one of those little winged monsters when I was in the Piazza San Marco in '73. Well, Jim,
I do have an answer to that.
Indoors?
The answer to that is, yeah, no, there aren't any pigeon-free zones, and indoors are your best bet.
Yes.
Yes. No, I have no idea.
Just carry an umbrella next time.
Really. And
there's an answer for you.
We've all done filthy things in our lifetime, worse than dealing with guano. So you've just got to be philosophical about it in the moment and say, this too shall pass, and worse things have happened. Okay, that was not very useful advice either, but what are you going to do with a question like that? Come on. So, yes. Yes. Okay, good. Did you know the Greek letter after mu is pronounced new, not new? I did not know that. Thank you. It's all Greek to me.
Mm-hmm. But I said new sounds like a cat word.
Yes, well.
In Italy. In Italian.
I don't know. How do cats say meow in Italian?
They say el new. Bueno new.
No idea. So with that said, unless there are any other questions, it's good. Ask Me Anything episode, an AMA, an American Medical Association episode. So if you have any if you have any random questions, feel free to bring them on. Otherwise, we're just doing a birthday celebration. I'm sitting here with my coffee, I had a Saunders bumpy cake a bit ago that Amy brought home.
Yes.
If you don't know what that is, it's a chocolate cake with buttercream. They're not bumps, but they're kind of like speed bumps.
They're like if you take a really, really large hold pastry bag full of buttercream, white buttercream,
Yeah.
and just spread it in lines across the cake,
And
and then coat the cake in chocolate.
Yeah. And you know what buttercream is? Just imagine a cross between icing and whipped cream, like that middle ground there
Yes.
of not as thick as icing, but not as light as whipped cream.
Yes.
And if you can't imagine what that looks like, imagine you're driving down a street, a 2-lane road, except the road is made of chocolate cake. And of course, your car would just go into it. So what you have to, it has to be an iced chocolate cake with chocolate icing. And to keep people from driving on the chocolate cake too fast, they put speed bumps. And they fill the speed bumps up with buttercream. And that is a Saunders bumpy cake.
Yes. And that's, Saunders is a Michigan company. So I don't know if you can actually get Saunders anywhere else.
I
entirely
don't know
sure.
the answer. My guess would be that if you can't, somebody else is doing a version of that.
Could be, yes.
So you would go down to, Florida, and it would be a Publix bumpy cake or something.
Not the same.
Yeah. It's weird, too, when you travel, the names of supermarkets all just sound wrong.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know, like, do people come to Michigan and say, Kroger, Meyer, what is that?
Yeah, and why are you calling it Myers? Because around here, we always put a possessive S after everything. So, except for Target. I don't think we say Targets.
We don't say Targets. Well, we don't.
Or maybe Walmart's? No.
No.
I don't know. Maybe some people do. But Kroger's, Myers, there are no S's at the ends of these names. So, it's a Michigan thing.
Another one of these plural personalities.
I'm going to go to Myers to get some pop, some Saunders bumpy cake, and some better made potato chips and Faygo.
Well, I've got more birthday greetings coming in, which is super heartening, not only because I love birthday greetings, but it's really fun to know that people like Rebecca and Larry, these are two people, I mean everybody out there, but these are two people who I especially respect and admire. Rebecca is just one of the happiest, most joyous people I know.
Yes.
Her and her family and her romance, but she's a globetrotter.
Yeah.
And she posts from her trips, and especially the Disney things that she does.
One of the most...
Rebecca, you are the best. And Larry Mason is... There's a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of businessmen in objectivism, but the way that Larry has made... He's essentially created a real estate empire in southwest Detroit in Michigan. And just self-made man, and thank you so much for that as well. And really, all of you out there, I have no deep, important philosophic topic today other than just, it's a great day. I appreciate all of the greetings. I want you all to have an outstanding day. And if you have a birthday this year, I made this joke earlier. I posted on Facebook me playing a bad cover of the Beatles song Birthday, but, I didn't have a lot of time on my hands this morning. If you have a birthday this week, this month, this year, make it an outstanding day for yourselves. So unless we have any more questions, and I can't believe we actually went over half an hour. I thought maybe 5 minutes. But yeah, unless we have... Oh, I had one more Oscar Wilde quote, and I have to say this just because James Valiant posted it on the Facebooks, he said, talking like an old man. From Oscar Wilde's The Soul of Man Under Socialism, he said, anybody can sympathize with the sufferings of a friend, but it requires a very fine nature. It requires, in fact, that nature of a true individualist to sympathize with a friend's success.
Yeah.
I can tell you as a successful man, yes, success doesn't always come easy, but also to be able to appreciate the success of your friends and not be sad that you aren't doing the same, or worse, envious or jealous. Well, I'll tell you, when I look at somebody like Larry Mason, somebody like Rebecca, somebody like Jennifer, somebody like so many of you out there who are happy and successful, I find it heartening. I find it inspiring. It makes me want to do better, be a better version of who I am.
Yes, let all the boats rise.
Yes, let all the boats rise. Exactly so. You know, we've used the expression comparison is the thief of joy. And, you know, if you compare your results to what other people did, or even worse than that, compare it to some unrealistic expectation of your own, it can make you sad.
Yes.
But in another sense, comparison in the sense of admiration, in the sense of aspiration, of wanting your friends to do well and wanting to try to rise to their level, in that sense, I think it's a wonderful thing. And I feel like I've gotten a little bit of that for my birthday.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all the love that has come in.
Yes, and we've got a joke that Stephen posted in YouTube. He says, 2 cats come to a river. 1, 2, 3 is one cat. The other is 1, 2, 3. Which one makes it across the river?
2 cats come to a river. 1, 2, 3 is one cat. The other is 1, 2, 3. Which one makes it across the river?
You know, I don't know. The one with a boat.
Well, he responded, 1, 2, 3. Now, I don't know French as well as you do. Do you understand that joke?
No. So anyway, Stephen, if you have a more of an explanation for us, we'd really appreciate it, because we are not quite getting it through our skulls.
I'm sure once it isn't cat French for 4.
No.
Okay, if
That's quatre, not cat.
well, okay, but even if you took it that way, would it be funny? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to research this joke and get back to
The
you
one
next
that-
Sunday.
One that trots. Oh, but we also have another question from Stephen.
Okay.
He asks, is Apollo and Dionysus your favorite Rand essay? I'm going to say no, not for me.
It's
I mean,
right
it's
up
great.
there.
It's right up there, but it's...
Favorite?
I mean, the one that comes to my mind always as a great Ayn Rand essay is Philosophy Who Needs It, the very first one that starts off in the book of compilated articles.
It's pretty hard to beat.
The Cult of Moral Grayness is another one. It's really lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends a lot on what you're looking to get out of it.
Right.
Because Apollo and Dionysus is potent, but it's also amusing, but it's also really, it's so insightful both for that period, and then you get to relate it to, well, here's how things are 40 years, 50 years later. So yeah, it's definitely right up there with my favorites.
Yeah. All of them are great. I don't know of one that I'm
Yeah.
like, that was a real stinker.
But
No,
Apollo and Dionysus, though,
Yeah.
is also polemic. It's addressing, kind of bad things.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes you're in the mood just for purely inspiration.
Yeah.
And on that same subject, you could read her essay, Apollo 11,
Yeah.
and that's more inspiring. So
That's
it
right.
really depends on what you're trying to get out of it.
Yes.
So it's a great question, and yes, Apollo and Dionysus is definitely on that list of favorite.
Yes. Stephen says he likes Rand's letter to Boris Spassky.
That is very good.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, anytime that she addresses the Russian situation.
Yeah, and Jennifer, I was going to also say Attila and the Witch Doctor, which is it's a great formulation. Love it.
Yes. Yep.
Voice of
Virtue of
Reason.
Selfish, Voice of Reason. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of good ones. Hard to pick. Almost anything that was presented at the Ford Hall Forum is going to be super inspiring. If that's what you're looking for, is you get to the end of the lecture and you want to cheer. So those are all great in that way. But at the same time, arguably the most important things I read from Rand, obviously The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, which aren't essays at all, and then the Introduction to Objectivist Epistemology, which solved so many things for me.
Or not necessarily an essay, but my very favorite piece of writing from Ayn Rand nonfiction is the foreword to the 25th anniversary to The Fountainhead.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. And Jim says he liked the metaphysical versus the man-made.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good point. It's one that once you know it's great, But the first time you read the metaphysical verses, the first time you read that, it's like, boom, that just straightens so many things out. So yeah, that's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent.
Excellent. I love that. I love that people can just like call up, oh yeah, that Ayn Rand essay. I know it.
Well, if anybody's listening to this and you're like, what are they even talking about?
What are they talking about?
Most of the titles that we have mentioned, Apollo and Dionysus and Metaphysical versus the Man-Made, most of these you can find online nowadays. They've been published online. A lot of them you can find on YouTube read aloud, or in their original presentations if they were delivered live.
Yep.
So yes, none of this is hard to find. All of it is worth reading or listening to.
But before we go, do you want to tell the world what you got for your birthday so far?
You know, you mentioned there's a company called Von Maur.
Oh yeah.
And they make some damn good neckties. I don't know.
Yeah, and
I probably have to adjust the lighting because the way the lighting is does not.
It's not quite picking up the color of it. It's
I could tweak that, although it wouldn't be appropriate for the broadcast. But if I were like crank our brightness way up, maybe you could see the necktie better there. This is a beautiful red necktie. It's just not going to work with the lighting in here. You should never do these things real and live and when you're on the air. And of course, folks who are listening to this on Apple Podcasts or one of the services afterward are like, I can't see you anyway. But anyway, beautiful red necktie.
Just imagine it.
And if you think, yeah, that's a nice necktie, but necktie. Mm-hmm. Recall that we talked about bow ties when it was National Bow Tie Day.
Yes.
And I mentioned during that episode, because I wore a bow tie. If you think back a couple episodes where you saw me with a black bow tie on. And I mentioned, my sad truth, because my eldest brother, I have two older brothers, both of them are great guys, but the eldest is a man who wears bow ties. Mm-hmm. Seriously wears, like often. And that means, because he's serious, he ties his bow ties. Well, my bow tie was a clip-on. And I said during that episode, one of my resolutions, I think I said before the end of the year, maybe I could get one as a Christmas present or something. I'm going to learn to tie a bow tie. I'm going to learn to actually take a bow tie that is not a clip-on, learn to tie it. Well, besides this beautiful red tie from Von Maur, look at this. Look at this. A genuine bow tie. And in purple, is that going to be bold? Well, of course, once I learn how to tie it. So, yes, the other birthday present from my darling here was a bow tie.
That it's not a clip-on. And
that
it's
is
purple.
not a clip-on. And it is purple, but it's got a nice dot pattern on it as well.
Yeah.
It's a good-looking tie. If I figure out how to tie it, and, that's what the YouTubes are for, our books and websites, etc., then, I'll probably wear it on an episode here. I will never look quite as sharp as, for example, Sean Albert of the Henry Ford Academy, but we look damn good. So thank you for that. I have a few cards as well that I received. Shout out to those who delivered cards. I'll tell you the sad and embarrassing truth about this one. It'll just take me 15 seconds to say. I was going to put these up on the wall behind us. Used some of that super sticky double-sided tape.
Uh-oh.
Needed to move it around a bit, and that's why if you look behind me, you can see there's a hole in the wall.
It's just...
Because that stuff just doesn't come off right.
Just a flesh wound.
If you take it off slowly enough, it comes off, but slow means let me dedicate 10 minutes to pulling this off the wall. Very, very... So anyway, thank you for the birthday cards to those who presented them, including you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And my darling daughter. And the eldest brother who I mentioned earlier. That's who the big, tall Marvin the Martian there came from. So very nice. It has been a good birthday. I was asked, are you going to take the day off, not do a show on your birthday? I said, no, I think during my birthday I want to say hi to you good people out there. Thank you so much for the birthday greetings on Facebook, on Twitter, and especially here in the chat. So glad that we decided to do a show today.
Yes. Happy birthday, Robert.
Now, because it's my birthday, I did not give myself a homework assignment for the week. My homework for the last week was taking care of the darling dog, Mina. We were dog sitting for a week.
That's right. And she was, by the way, Jennifer, if you're still watching, we had her on the show last week. So
if you look at last week's show, you were probably on an airplane at the time, but She does show up once or twice on last week's show.
She does. She's really sweet.
So no homework for this week, no post-it note for the week. I'm going to keep the ones that I've got up. If you've been following along at home, you are welcome and encouraged to do the same. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. As we mentioned earlier, if you want to support the show, go to robertnacer.com. You'll find a Patreon link if you want to give a couple dollars a month, or more than a couple dollars a month. You'll find a PayPal link if you want to make a one-time contribution. Now, I know PayPal, oh my gosh, what they did to their terms of service recently has given many people a reason to say to you people. So I get that. I totally understand. And, if anybody wants to send a one-time contribution, there are other ways you can do that. Reach out to us directly. Thank you again to those of you who have been patrons of the show, whether for a few months or for the full. Some folks have been on for the full 2.5 years that we've been doing this.
Yep.
And again, recently that made a substantial difference to how our holidays are going to go. So, boom, big thank you to you. You are the best.
Thank you, guys.
Anything I'm missing in the chat before we wrap?
Oh, just the charming and funniness and cleverness of all of our audience.
Good. Well, I will reread everything from the chat after the show in case there is anything good I missed. I see the birthday greetings. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for joining us. As always, we wish you every bit of success, all of the happiness that you so richly deserve. You're thinking, how does Robert know that? Trust me. All of the happiness that you so richly deserve. And as always, and a little more today with a little birthday frosting on top, we wish you love.